roles, right? So there's kind of two hats that I'm wearing. And so there's challenges in both roles. But for me, I would say a warrior is persistent, is dedicated, and will always, will never give up. And I think that those are the qualities that I always try, when I feel like I am dealing with a tough challenge, I say to myself, you know what? Okay, you're a warrior. What would a warrior do? A warrior would not just like take the hit and just sit, be out of the game. Yeah, they would keep getting back up because they believe in themselves and they believe in the cause that they're fighting for. And as entrepreneurs, you're fighting for your business. That is your cause. You are putting your heart, your blood, sweat, tears, everything into your business. That's why you keep getting up, because your business is and it should be something that you're passionate about, something that you love, something that it's your baby. And so that, for me, when I think of being a warrior, it's just to remind myself that warriors do get knocked down. That is part of the game. No warrior doesn't lose a battle, but it's not, you can lose battles, but you're trying to win the war, right? And so understanding that losing battles just preps you to learn and gives you necessary tools and skill sets so that you can eventually win the war. And by winning the war, I mean, so that you could eventually have a growing and thriving business that might be even bigger than you ever imagined as the entrepreneur on the onset of.
In your opinion, given all this and given the biz hot list that you and Adriana started, what do you think are the top 3 things that a woman entrepreneur should have to be successful? Top 3.
Confidence. Confidence is a real big one. To be able to speak confidently, to convey that you know what you're talking about in a strong manner, I think is very important. I know a lot of female entrepreneurs sometimes tend to be either more shy or timid. But I think if you can really convey your confidence in yourself and in what you're talking about, I think that will go far for you.
But you also have to genuinely, authentically have it, right?
You do.
Yeah.
And the only way that you can also get it is, I always tell people, practice your pitch, practice how you talk about your business. If I meet you at a networking event and I say, hi, I'm Lana, I'm a business broker. What do you do? Know what you're going to say about your business. So part of the building of confidence is also the practice of talking about your business. So it's not that I just say, oh, be confident. Like nobody's just be confident, right? You gain confidence by, if you have a business that makes, it could be a business that makes software technology, then you should be able to clearly and articulately communicate what your business does, who your customer is, what purpose does it serve. And that only happens by practice. So I would say to become more confident, make sure that you know what you're saying about your business, what you're saying about yourself, what your role is, and practice it. Practice it in the mirror. Practice it with your friends.
Right.
Practice it when you network. Because honestly, once you said it multiple times, you will just know what people are going to ask you, and you'll just feel confident because you know the answers.
Right.
Okay. There is confidence in just knowing answers before people ask you. So I think that's what I really mean is just being confident, but making sure that, you practice and speak with confidence. You don't want to come off like, because, sometimes women can also come off a little timid, and in business, like if you don't speak with a certain authority, it can come off like you don't know what you're talking about, or you don't seem confident. And who wants to work with someone who doesn't seem confident, right? Like that's not going to allow people to have confidence in you. Yeah. Exactly. Right. So that's one. I would say the second, being decisive. I think that and really with decisiveness, I'm really talking about not overthinking, right? Not being paralyzed by trying to look at every angle possible. At some point, you just have to make a decision and realize that the decision you make can either go well, or like I said earlier, might not go the way you want, but you're going to adjust. And you just have to trust yourself that you'll adjust. And decisiveness, the quicker you can make decisions, I'm not saying being reckless, obviously. I'm saying making decisions based off of good information. But the quicker you're able to make decisions, the ability for your business to gain momentum, right? That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to have business gain momentum and actually move forward versus being stagnant.
Right.
And I would say my third one would be optimism. I'm an optimistic person. I don't know if that's something that maybe people would expect, me to say, but I think you should always be optimistic. I like to have the glass half full approach, because look, life in general has its challenges and its ups and downs. Business definitely has its challenges and ups and downs, but what a beautiful thing it is that you get to go after your dream. And people need to, I think people sometimes, get caught up in the stress, and look, it is stressful. I'm not going to sit here and say being an entrepreneur is just, a walk in the park. But I think if you have optimism, then you can also always be looking for the silver lining in situations, looking for those learning lessons. But then it just makes you enjoy the journey more, I think.
Would you consider yourself a long-term optimistic person?
I think so. I think so because, I found life is a lot sweeter if you're optimistic than if you're not.
For sure. And easier too, in some ways.
Easier because, I've met, people who are a little bit more pessimistic, but it's like, sometimes things don't go the way that you want them to go, but, life doesn't always, it doesn't work out the way you want, but sometimes there's gifts in that. Sometimes we have preconceived notions about what an outcome should look like, and then we get a different outcome, but we don't realize that actually the different outcome is actually better than what we're pushing for. So I think having that optimism allows you to also see, I didn't get what I thought I wanted, but I actually ended up getting something better. And that is a blessing, I think, for a lot of entrepreneurs who are able to tap into that.
And also probably being, having close friends, I don't know, obviously business associates, partners also who share in the optimistic trait, right? Who also see it like you see it, which is being able to really reinforce all the good opportunities out there. And, oh, well, if it doesn't work out, then the next one might.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that you're just touching on a really important point, which is like having your sort of like, your circle of like support systems, whether it be other entrepreneurs. I mean, I'm definitely friends. I have a friend circle, and we're all, entrepreneurs, or we're all of the mindset of wanting to build something for ourselves. And so we definitely get together and we talk about ideas, and we talk, if we have an issue with something, we talk about it in terms of like, maybe I'm like, oh, I have this issue with my business, what do you think? And having other people who are positive, who believe in you and believe in themselves and genuinely want you to succeed, and are there to provide, guidance or resources, especially as a female, young female entrepreneurs who are starting out. It's great to really you and your friend, whether they're your close friends or they're people that you network with, that you find that you really relate to in your philosophy on entrepreneurship, you should definitely have those masterminds, if you will, with those people, because that helps you as an entrepreneur not feel alone, A, and then B, you're able to also use them as a sounding board.
Right. Believe it or not, our time is almost up. I wanted to thank you, Lana, so much for sharing today with our listeners your entrepreneurial story and how you overcame some of the psychological obstacles that you encountered during your inspirational journey. How can people reach you to learn more about your work?
Sure. So they can reach me through our website, bizbrokersla.com, or they can follow us on, they can follow me and my business partner, Adriana, on the Biz Hot List on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Great. This podcast is brought to you by Women Entrepreneurs Global, the first startup studio and digital DIY startup platform for women For more information on our guests, this podcast, and many other female founder programs, please visit womenentrepreneurs.global. We believe in an open and non-stigmatizing dialogue about the hidden psychological difficulties experienced by many successful entrepreneurs and highlighting the strategies used to overcome them as a critical way to help other founders achieve success. Please join me next week for more Mindset for Success stories. I'm Dr. Leslie Knutson, and you can drop me a line at Dr. Leslie Knutson at drleslieKnutson.com.
This podcast is brought to you by Women Entrepreneurs Global, the first startup studio and digital DIY startup platform for women. For more information on her guests, this podcast, and many other female founder programs, please visit womenentrepreneurs.global. We believe in open and non-stigmatizing dialogue about the hidden psychological difficulties experienced by many successful entrepreneurs and highlighting the strategies used to overcome them, such as the fear of failure, of not being good enough, and that loud, chattering internal critic is critical to helping other founders achieve success. Please join her next week for more Mindset for Success stories. That was Dr. Leslie Knutson, and you can drop her a line at dr.leslieKnutson at dr.leslieKnutson.com.